how can brands adapt to local tastes and cultures, but at the same time not lose their global consistent identity uh, that uh, that they have all over the world, including their home country? Maybe Chris, you can tackle that. That seems to be down your
Yeah.
alley.
Yeah, that kind of builds a little on just that point before. So again, when we come into the market, not holding on to our assumptions for too long. So I think um, in the automotive industry, for example, worked a lot with some of the brands coming in from Korea. You often have lots of great ideas in the home market, but then how do we create environments and a culture when we start employing people here in Vietnam, that there's a culture that, how would you say, enables people, the teams, to go out into the marketplace, to go and observe what's really happening amongst those consumers that you want to target. So what we often encourage is that when organizations come in, there's this some sort of like feedback loops or co-creative ways of collaborating and training your teams to be able to bring the teams from other markets, to be able to bring these people we're collaborating with, our own teams or partners locally, and have workshopping amongst them to invite the customer, the end consumer, or social media or these KOLs, these kind of influencers who have immense amounts of everyday insight into what the market likes, dislikes, what the behaviors, the rituals are that happen here every day on the street that we can really deeply learn from very quickly. So by having these kind of like co-creative kind of workshops with all these different stakeholders up close and personal, with people who are close to the street, they're close to the customers, you're often then able to, how would you say, build on the hero of what makes your brand special, but then find those little nuances of how that's going to resonate here in the local marketplace. Great example here. It's debatable. Sorry if McDonald's in the room, but it's been slow to take off. Various reasons for that. Versus organizations like Lotteria that have found very specific target audiences, niches, youth, and locations, as Kai might have mentioned before, where they are razor sharp focused on locations, opportunities, times in the day, types of people to localize the brand for. And as you know, in Vietnam, oftentimes it's getting into the nuances of sharing of meals, uh, connecting of groups, being close to schools where their audiences are, for example. So, in short, you need to invite your customer into the creative process. You need to go and inspire and validate your ideas with them as quickly as you can to find what that secret sauce might be to then bring your brand to local relevance. Hope that gives a bit of context, Sean.
That's a great point, Chris. Victor, you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, because I like what Chris said about sharing. And at Belgo, across the 5 venues, we respect our brand identity. We try to bring a bit of Belgium experience, but we are in Vietnam. And in Vietnam, you like to have large tables and mud high bazo and cheering. And so we make very sure to have our menu, we have sharing platters, because in Vietnam, it's important to have sharing food and large tables. So I would say it's important to respect your brand identity, but it's also important to understand the local market's dining habits. And this is what we do at Belgo. All right. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, I also want to add that from legal perspective, because I'm lawyer, and actually the franchise agreement is also a key tool to protect the brand consistency, because that as you come to the new country, and and the brand is also the key asset of your business, and you can have the provision under the franchise agreement to protect the brand consistency, the standard of the franchisor via the term and condition, the obligation and right of both party, franchisor and franchisee. For example, like the adoption of the new product or new menu, review of them when the franchisee propose on this, and this also to under the measure to ensure the quality of the brand and the standard of the franchisor, and also about the the IP registration, about the trademark registration. Because if you want to run a long term in the new country, the trademark should be registered for protected. And in some country, the trademark registration is very take a long time. So you should have well prepared for such registration. And also under the franchise agreement, you also can have the clause relating to the when termination of the agreement, when the franchisee breach of the any term or condition and or remedy to any breach. That is also to help to protect the brand consistency throughout many countries.
Thank you, Mr. You know, the legal question is always one of the first things we talk about when we talk to franchisors and franchisees. And a lot of times we have a habit of, you know, using AI or Google to download the latest franchise template. And it is not the same for every company, every business. And it is incredibly risky to do something like that and not tailor it specifically for the industry, for your business, and also for the country itself. So it's worth the investment to do it properly because it may seem cheap to do it in the beginning on your own, but if something happens, it could be devastating for your business. So best to invest the time and resources to doing it properly, whether that's Vietnam, Malaysia, Korea, or anywhere else. So great point, Miss Tu.